the Forgiving Collective. Where's Sister Susie, by the way? Have you seen her?
I've not seen her. She's probably eating my Maltesers.
That's almost certainly what's happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you think I should just wait until she appears? She might miss the crucial setup.
She will, yeah.
That's the thing about being the producer. Your work is never done. Were you eating Matt's Maltesers?
Matt's got Maltesers.
We're now running late. Anyway, here we go. Father, Son of the Forgiving Collective says, Mary, please consider my humble and heartfelt confession. Cast your minds back to the long, hot summer of 1995. I was 15, and my younger sister, Lily, was 13. We had been dispatched. There's a little bit of Famous Five about this story.
Really?
Plus, also, it's the most predictable confession. You'll see it coming a mile off.
Okay, good.
Okay, there's some key phrases on the way.
Yeah.
We'd been dispatched to spend the summer holidays with my aunt and Uncle Anderson and our two rather annoying male cousins. Let's call them Hans, 14, and Christian, who's 12.
Nice.
Exactly. Uncle Anderson was something high up in a government office somewhere, army-related, I believe, and rather intimidating. However, Aunt Maria was like a NATO peacekeeping force, and as Uncle was away from home most of the time, we had 3 weeks of fun. But our relationship with Hans and Christian was at best hostile, as Hans was always a bit of a bossy know-it-all. Christian was okay, but was still a boy.
Yeah.
Aunt Maria did her best to keep us from all-out war and distracted us with various activities like water flumes, bowling, cinema outings, lashings of lemonade, fast food, that kind of thing. On the fourth week, Uncle Anderson arrived home with a suitcase full of washing, which Aunt Maria proceeded to launder. Lots of sparkling white shirts were washed, then ironed to regimental standards and hung up to air in the no-go area. That's the no-go area, where I suspect
we will be going.
The walk-in dressing room. Wow. A trip out to select a water feature for their garden was suggested over breakfast the next morning. Needless to say, even Hans and Christian were not enthusiastic about that, so it was decided that we could all be trusted to stay at home after being given strict instructions on behaving ourselves, not going in the no-go area, and then Aunt and Uncle departed. Here's the kicker, right? Here's the big killer line for the opening of the third paragraph.
Here we go.
I had bought an amazing shade of deep plum hair dye.
Right, so there we go.
Yes. So this was the perfect chance to use it. Lily was persuaded to help me apply and rinse in the bathroom. I wrapped my wet shoulder-length hair in an old black T-shirt so as not to leave any trace on the crisp white bathroom towel. The boys were in their bedrooms doing whatever boys do at that age. So we snuck into the no-go dressing room, blessed with a deep pile white carpet, glossy white dressing table and wardrobes, not to mention Uncle's freshly laundered and ironed white shirts, airing and ready to be packed. I mean, what could happen?
Okay.
However, the temptation was too great to resist. There was a full-length mirror and a hairdryer. Very excited to see the result, I whipped off the old T-shirt and flicked back my hair, at which point Lily let out a blood-curdling scream. She seemed then to lose the power of speech and was in a state of petrified horror, with both hands clamped over her mouth, eyes the size of saucers, and had gone a sickly shade of whitish green. Following her gaze, my life flashed before me. There was total carnage. Plum dye splatter everywhere, and the shirts had got the full force. Summoned by the blood-curdling scream, Hans and Christian arrived at the doorway. Hans mirrored my thoughts with comments about how much trouble I was going to be in, but swiftly followed by, "We are all so dead."
Say that in 1995.
We're all so dead. Anyway, then added, surprisingly, "Lily and Christian, you're in charge of cleaning up here. Mary, get the shirts. We'll be on laundry duty. Come on, troops, move." Galvanized into action, a relay of cleaning, shirt washing and line drying, thanks to the hot sunny day, commenced, interrupted by a heart-stopping moment when Aunt and Uncle returned slightly earlier than expected. Lily and Christian saw the car coming up the road, gave the alarm and hastily met them at the front door, while Hans and I grabbed the almost dry shirt from the line and scooted upstairs. Luck was on our side, as it turned out they'd only come back to select a suitable place in the garden for their water feature. Satisfied that all was well on the home front, they left with a comment that they were pleased to see we were all getting on so well. No sooner than the car rounded the corner than we regrouped. A survey of the dressing room revealed that although the traces of splatter had been eliminated from the furniture, the deep pile white carpet still had a few telling spots. So ever-resourceful Lily, armed with a pair of nail scissors, on hands and knees and a Prescient eye set, she was trimming it. She was trimming the carpet.
Wow.
The damp shirts, however, were a different matter. Looking white but rather rumpled and in serious need of ironing, the odious task fell to me as the eldest and female.
What?
And it was all
Okay.
but the killing thing, it was my fault anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
there
that's
was
true.
no arguing the
Yes.
point. So I did my best, and by the time Aunt and Uncle returned, all had been restored to normality. So that would appear to be that. The attractive water feature was installed a couple of days later. There aren't many exciting stories with water features. Lily and I returned home the next week. My conscience would be clear as all the damage was done and had been repaired. And during the great cover-up, we also made a lasting friendship with Annoying Hans and Annoying Christian that exists to this day. So to my fellow partners in crime, I seek no forgiveness. However, my ironing of the shirt sleeves was considerably substandard. And poor Aunt Maria did get a court-martial and was asked to explain why there were train tracks up both arms. And also, how could she have been so careless to get what looked like a spot of beetroot juice on the sleeve of one of the shirts? The verdict was that she was never allowed to launder or iron another white shirt again. So it's to lovely Aunt Maria that I ask absolution, although I have inside information that she's been jumping up and down happy about that ever since.
Yeah.
I also suspect that she worked out exactly what had happened anyway. But I throw myself back on the forgiveness on the merciful collective and the nation, as there was no malicious intent and great efforts were made to make restitution for the sin caused by a moment of teenage vanity as I went for the plum hair. Yours in grovelling anticipation, that's from Mary, checking in with Sister Susie. He quite likes plum hair every now and again.
Yeah, every now and again. I like to change my hair colour up. Why not? I have been there. Nail scissors cutting the carpet. It's an
Really?
excellent...
I've never done that.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're in trouble.
Spill something on the carpet and you're like, oh, just cut it off.
Cut the
Wow.
carpet.
Cut the
Works
carpet
like
away.
magic.
The shears.
Lovely. Brilliant.
Notices. I'm going to forgive Mary, but I think Maria was fine with it because I don't think the uncle sounded very nice. So
No.
I just think no one, if he had to iron his own shirts, good for him.
Yeah.
Should have done them anyway.
I
so I'm
suspect
gonna
that's the way
forgive.
it's going to go. What are you saying?
Yeah, do your own shirts, Mr. Anderson. Maria, clearly very happy about that. It strikes me that the plum dye really did turn the shirts a shade of deep purple, and then had everyone frantically washing. So there must have been smoke on the water. So for that reason, I am going to forgive.
Very good. Are you pleased with
deep
that?
purple
Very pleased with
and
that.
smoke on the water.
Okay, it's